Good.
3, 2, 1, a source of podcast. My name is Jabari Butler. I'm here with J.R. Hall. What's the good word?
Oh man, nothing much. It's freezing out here. It's about 30 degrees, and they said it's supposed to be 70. So trying to prep for that. Man.
Yeah, you sitting up there freezing your ass off. You was freezing your ass off on the field this week too. Raiders was freezing their ass off, got their ass froze off by the Giants. How you feel about
both teams suck.
how you feeling about that first pick in the draft? You got Fernando Mendoza looking at you with the first pick.
You take it step by step. You looking at the draft. I haven't looked. The season haven't even finished. That's why the Giants suck. You trying to take too many steps at one time, and y'all not good. Who cares? They both 2-13.
Yeah, I need to be looking at the draft.
I wasn't finna waste the Lord's Day on the trash bowl. You can do whatever you want, but I didn't watch the game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't worried about. I was actually worried about some teams who were in the playoffs, who had to fight for playoff spots.
Well, let me update you. You got your quarterback, Fernando Mendoza.
Why are you still trying to talk about the Raiders in next year?
Well, I'm bringing it on into the CFP this week. We got your future first-round pick, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana.
What are they going to do? What they going to do this week? You tell me.
Who the hell does Indiana play? Alabama.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. Let's see what you got. How you feeling about that?
I probably have Fernando Mendoza in the fourth quarter, just because I just got more faith in Fernando Mendoza, your future first round pick.
Bro, that doesn't make. We talking about the CFP or we talking about the NFL? Let me know. I can talk about the NFL and draft picks.
I'm talking about the quality of quarterback that's going to be at your disposal. Well, I'm just saying,
it's going to be a higher quality quarterback than Jackson Dart and the
Giants. Do you want to stay with Geno Smith?
Who would want that? Let's be honest. You can answer that question.
So we wouldn't be happy with Fernando Mendoza.
I guarantee you, if they don't get Fernando Mendoza, they're not keeping Geno Smith. If you think that, what you smoking? You smoking some good weed.
So you watching your future quarterback this week?
No, I actually think that's going to be the.
And what I'm saying about your future quarterback is that I think he's going to edge out Alabama in the fourth quarter. I think he has that more dog in them than the Bama quarterback. I think that's really the only difference. I think defenses is pretty similar. Offenses are pretty similar, except for that quarterback position. And I think Fernando Mendoza has proven this year that he's that guy. He got that Eli Manning spirit in the fourth quarter.
Boy, losing to Tom Brady.
Maybe everything doesn't look perfect, but just finding a way to win. He got that gold Manning in him.
Yeah, who he be losing to the Cowboys or stuff for years. But I do think Bama and Indiana is going to be the least interesting game because we kind of know what's going to go on. Indiana is probably going to throw the ball because Mendoza is a passer. And Bama, I don't know how to feel about Bama because they're playing the most consistent team, and Indiana has played pretty consistent all the year. And I think they're the best team put together defensively and obviously. But their matchup, Bama, I think Bama has been a little bit sketchy this whole year. I feel like they're inconsistent and unorthodox. I feel like if the defense plays good, their offense probably won't play good, and if the offense plays good, the defense might not look too good. And then they've had a lot of injuries this year, Alabama has had a lot of injuries, so I think it'll be probably a statement game.
My
because I don't
last
think
thought
those.
on Bama, I think it's still they got the type of offense still built for who was their quarterback last year? I can't remember his name now.
I don't. I'm not sure.
Who was
Only
their
person I
quarterback?
know is Bama's
Who was
running back
Bama's
because he's
quarterback?
from.
Who was Bama quarterback last year? The running quarterback.
You tell me.
But anyway, it seems like Bama's offense is more built for a running quarterback than this guy. He's more like a pocket passer, and it's like he's just inaccurate. I mean, he has the talent around him. He has a lot of talent around him. Talented running backs, Ryan Williams, and talented receivers, but it's almost like he don't fit the style of play of the offense, or he's not. I don't know. It's just something off of that
I feel
quarterback.
like he just doesn't play up to par as he should. I feel like I don't know that he's. I feel like he's the reason they're inconsistent because I don't think. I don't know. I feel like he fits into Alabama's plan that they want to run on offense and everything, but I think he's not the. I don't think he's been a top tier. Well, he hasn't been a top tier quarterback this year. I think he's been like a mid quarterback. He hasn't played because usually Bama is a lot, I guess you could say, harder to beat than they've gotten beat this year. But with the injuries and the quarterback not being a top tier quarterback and the defense playing shaky sometimes, I think I'm not sure. I think it'll be a good game, but I think it might be the least interesting game. This
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the game that you said is the most interesting, but I don't know about that. Oregon versus Texas Tech.
yeah.
What you think about that game?
I think honestly, I think it's gonna be a shootout like it's always been. Texas Tech has usually always been able to put up some points, and Oregon has always been able to put up some points. So I think it's gonna come down to the defenses and how the quarterbacks play. And last week we seen from Oregon that maybe not their quarterback, but they let James Madison put up 34 points, and the quarterbacks played about the same. And I do believe James Madison quarterback is not anywhere good as Texas Tech's quarterback. And I'm pretty sure their offensive weapons are better. So I want to see if how Oregon's going to hold up playing a better team. I believe that they put up points because I believe they put up at least 50 plus last week, but they gave up too much on defense. They gave up I think 5 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns in the field goal, either 5 touchdowns in the field goal. So I think against Texas Tech, they defense going to have to be a lot stiffer because I also think Texas Tech's defense with defensive player of the year and the rest of their defense, I think they might be pretty stout. And I don't think Oregon has seen. They might have seen 1 or 2 teams like that, but Texas Tech is going to be well rested. Oregon is coming off of the football game. What was that, last week or 2 weeks ago? They had the CFP. Well, anyways, but I don't think I want to see I want to see how Dante Moore, because a lot of people are high on him, and I see a lot of quarterbacks that's about just as good or better, but that's my opinion. I know people have different opinions.
Well, I think this game comes down to what this new kind of playoff system we have in college football. It comes down to competition. Are we getting the best quality of competition in the playoffs? And with Texas Tech, I think at their level of quality of competition, along with James Madison, isn't equivalent to the rest of the playoffs that we're seeing right now.
So you think Texas Tech means James Madison is just as good as Texas Tech?
I'm saying that it's an overall.
Give me a yes or no. Give me
the
a yes or no.
competition between divisions. I'm speaking about James Madison and Texas Tech. I think the division that James Madison, the conference that James Madison is in, is rather low competition, and I think Texas Tech's conference as well as low competition. So we haven't really got an accurate depiction of them so far.
You haven't. You haven't.
Been a much.
Make sure that.
I think Oregon's had a more battle tested schedule with Indiana and Penn State and different Big Ten matchups, and I think that they're gonna basically rumble through Texas Tech this week.
I don't know how you think they're gonna rumble through Texas Tech, and you just told us that James Madison offense isn't good. They literally were the number 4 in the team. They had a bye. They had the defense player of the year. So if you think James Madison is the same tier as Texas Tech, I don't think you watched Texas Tech this year. And I don't think you watched their defense and I don't think...
I didn't say that James Madison... I didn't say James Madison's the same tier as Texas Tech. I said they're both come for weaker tiers in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
So the level of competition doesn't reflect the placement in the playoff of Texas Tech over Oregon for them to even be getting a bye week like this.
How does it not? You still got to play football. You still got to get on the field.
Well, I think Texas Tech just hasn't played anybody. So we don't really know where they're at. We don't know how good they are.
But we know how good Oregon is. We've already seen them play in the college football playoff. And they let James Madison put 34 points up on them. Texas Tech is going to score a lot more than 34 points.
I don't know if Texas Tech... I think you're underestimating James Madison's offense. I think that Texas Tech is probably going to score around 20 points.
Boy, I don't think Oregon and I don't think Dante Moore is going to play good, honestly. And I don't think their defense.
Here's my prediction for that game: 35-21, Oregon. That's my prediction. Okay.
I'm not going to give you a score, but I'll tell you, Texas Tech is going to get the dub, I believe, and Oregon is going to show their face how good they really are.
And then moving on to probably the most exciting matchup.
Second.
Ole Miss versus Georgia. Who you got in this matchup? I know you already know my pick.
I think I'm going to take Ole Miss.
Why is that?
I think Ole Miss is going to remember that they probably lost at the end of that game. I can't remember if they did, but they lost by 8 already to Ole Miss. And I think Ole Miss, they've played a game already, and they're going to be, I wouldn't say a lot more ready, because I do believe that Georgia playing last week is keeping them rolling. But I think Ole Miss, they probably got to watch that film. They probably got to watch a little bit more film not playing. And I think they might come out with a different attitude, and because they got beat by a touchdown and the 2 points last time. So we're going to see. I think that's going to be a pretty interesting game. Probably not my most exciting game or second most, but I think that's going to be a hard-fought game just because we know Georgia going to come with their defense, and we know Ole Miss's offense is pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, I just think that Georgia knows what it takes to win. I think Georgia just has more of a championship-ready team. Like Ole Miss, it seems like they might be peaking, but are they a champion? Are they a real championship team?
They could be.
I know that Georgia's always playing. Georgia at this point, they look like a championship team. They look like a championship caliber team. I know it's going to be probably a close matchup, a good game, but Ole Miss, it doesn't seem like for years upon years they've been able to get over that hump. They've always been a good team. Sometimes they've been kind of a very good team, but they've never been a great team or a championship team. So it's gonna be a battle to see they can take that next step. And I don't think
This
Georgia is going to be is going to let them up
this
around
week, I think their
this time.
quarterback. I think the quarterback play is going. He's going to be playing at a different level. So Georgia, I believe their defense is going to have to play hard from the start to finish. I think it's going to be a hard fought game. I think it'll probably be maybe somebody might score 40, 42 points. Not more than 45, but it's gonna really come down to the defenses. I believe so. But man, we got any more games?
Lastly, Miami versus Ohio State. I think that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I think we probably got the same call on that one.
Yeah.
Ohio
I don't
State.
know. I'm not too sold on Ohio State, honestly, because they were in a couple tight games. People were really high on them, but I don't know. They look good, but I'm just not the biggest fan of them because I think
it's the quarterback issue again with Ohio State. It's like they got everything but a quarterback. And the running backs are okay this year. They're not. They're good, but they're not like gonna blow you away. So it's on that quarterback because the quarterback gonna be able to get these guys the ball.
I agree with that because when they play defenses that are a little stouter,
because Miami. Well, the thing about it, Miami's offense. I don't think Miami's offense is gonna be able to hold up because I think Miami's offense is kind of. I think is that Carson Beck?
Yeah.
I think that Ohio State defense gonna fold Carson Beck's little ass up.
Well, I don't think Ohio State's defense has played their best against, like I said, top tier teams. When they played Texas, they beat them by 7. A lot of people talk like they beat Texas by like it was a 21.0 game. In the game against Indiana,
they held them to 7 points.
Okay, but everybody, what does that mean? I mean, Texas already had a mid team. Texas wasn't the best team, and the way people talk.
7 points. We talking about defense. But the way we're not talking about offense.
Yeah, Texas offense. Texas defense played okay. Texas offense didn't play good. Everybody know Arch Manning didn't play good until the end of the year.
But we were talking about Ohio State defense.
I'm talking about them. No, you were talking about Ohio State defense. I was talking about how they can't hang. They don't play too well in bigger games across the season. Like Indiana. Indiana beat them by 3 points. So is that an exciting game to you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a pretty good game, yeah. What do you mean? Just because they lost by 3 points, what does that have to do with the entertainment value?
So you were entertained. Were you really watching the game? That means Ohio State offense didn't play that good.
I think it came down to the quarterback. So I think it came down to Fernando. It came down to your future first round pick, Fernando Mendoza, the future of the Raiders.
I see that's on your mind. You happy? I see you're really happy that y'all beat the 2-13.
That's the future. Hey, that's the future.
I'm talking.
Fernando
y'all
Mendoza.
are really happy.
I'm talking about the Fernando Mendoza factor.
I'm talking about you.
The quarterback.
I'm talking about you. I don't care who you talking about. I'm talking about
is the most
you were really excited that the Giants beat the Raiders. You already knew that game was going to be terrible at the beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, you said both of those teams are going to be playing for the number 1 draft pick. So you knew it was going to be a bad game the whole year.
You get to see your number 1 draft pick this week.
Are you okay? It sounds like we're doing better than y'all. Y'all had a losing record and probably like the 5th draft pick. We had a losing record and we probably gonna get the first pick.
Congratulations, you're the worst team of all time. You
Yeah,
suck.
according to
Your team
Jabari
sucks.
Butler, who
Everything that you ever thought of doing this offseason failed.
Jabari,
So better luck this
y'all
season.
failed. Y'all haven't had a better season. Y'all had better weapons. Y'all had a younger quarterback. Y'all had a
And we
better
had some
defense, and we
injuries.
were just I don't want to hear
Hey,
that. You
we had
still
some
got to get on the
injuries, but we're
field.
gonna bounce
Those guys
back.
are still on the field. If you injured, if you injured, why are we talking about you? We talking about the people who on the field, right?
Hey, we had some
You got
injuries,
real
man.
quiet over there.
We had some major injuries. We had to bounce back.
That
Once
sounds
we
like an excuse.
get
That
back
sounds like an
healthy,
excuse. That's why we two
we'll
and
be back.
13 because we had some major injuries. Boy, stop making excuses. Y'all had a
We had to
trash
fire
team, a trash defense.
hey, we had to fire some coaches, but guess what? We beat the
Good
Raiders.
job. It doesn't. You were hype about that team that y'all 3-13 just because y'all beat the Raiders.
We're better than your team.
Good job. You're still one game better than our team.
But anyway, we're gonna move on into this West Coast action. Big Lake Show going up. Detroit Pistons versus Los Angeles Lakers. What are you thinking about this game coming up tonight?
I think it's going to be a good game to see where the Lakers are at this point. Because I think at the beginning of the season, I think a lot of people thought they would play a lot better than they are. But I think against the better teams, the teams at the top of the East and the West conferences, they don't play good at all. So I think this is going to be a good game to see where we are because we also are down one of our best players with Austin Reeves been out for about 4 weeks or a month. So I think the Lakers they got to see what they're needing to correct, and I believe it'll be better to see what we need to catch film on and catch up on as a team when they're playing a better team, a higher ranked team in the conference. So I think tonight, I don't know how their game is gonna go. I don't know. I don't have a choice of who's gonna win because Detroit this year they played pretty good. They've been pretty stout, and then they have Cade Cunningham. He can score the ball and he can get the offense going. And they're at the top of the East. So most of the time, the Lakers have played top tier teams and even mid teams. Because a couple of weeks ago, I think they lost to Phoenix 2 times. We lost to the Spurs, which that's not surprising. And then OKC. So I'm trying to see what are we gonna do. I want to see how much they can build off of this part of the team. So when Austin Reeves gets back, he can just flow right into the offense. It doesn't take him too much time to get going. But I'm not sure. How you feeling about the Lakers in Detroit tonight?
Yeah, I actually see it like it's the bench. I really want to see what bench combination is going to be the best suitable for LeBron James and Luka Doncic because I can't really complain about Luka. Luka's been dropping 30 every game. He's giving you 30. LeBron's been pretty consistent with what he's given, but it's like the bench is just a lot of
we might have the worst bench in the NBA.
Well, it's like some people got to just step up. We don't know who the dogs are, and I don't know why it's like. I got to put it. I got to put it on the bench, and I'm even gonna put it on JJ Redick.
Both of them, heck yeah.
It doesn't seem like it seemed like LeBron and Luka are in position, but it doesn't seem like everybody else is keeping up.
Well, like I said, I think our team structure is trash. We got people who can't play defense, and then we have people who should fit into the offense a little bit more, or they should get traded because, it's certain guys that can't play defense, and then when those guys go out, we got to bring in the bench. And our bench, I remember watching the game at half. We had the Lakers had 6 bench points, and whoever they were playing had 33 bench points. And you definitely can't win no game down 25 points to another team off of the bench. Because that means, man, I just don't know. But I do agree with you about J.J. Redick. I don't know how he got the coaching job, first off. And then it's like he hasn't leveled up. It's been the same, pretty much the same. I think if LeBron, was he there when LeBron won the championship?
No,
on the Lakers?
He first started coaching last year.
Man, and it's like, how did you get this coaching job? Like, he didn't. I don't believe he played for the Lakers. I don't think he did. I don't know how he got that job or what, but I don't think J.J. Redick should be on the bench. J.J. Redick deserved to be in the, what's the thing at the top where all of the coaches be in the press box. Because, man, I think me and you might be able to go down to L.A. and hold it down better than he is.
He coached like a young coach, just young and arrogant, and he just set in his ways, but he's not improving anything.
No, he make you feel like he's supposed to be one of those coaches on the second row of the bench that tell you if you need to record, we need to challenge this or not, and they look back at him. That's where J.J. Redick needs to be.
Right, he's supposed to be holding a damn clipboard and a damn Sharpie rag.
Well, now they got the iPads and they got the notepads you can draw on.
He's supposed to be holding the iPad.
Watching films. That's funny, bro. Man.
What else you got for the NBA?
Well, I'll give you my top teams right now in the West. My top three teams, I think is Jabari not gonna like this, but I think all of the teams from Texas and Oklahoma City are our top teams. I think the Spurs. We can start with the
like
Spurs.
A true cowboy, Oklahoma, Texas cowboy.
Jabari, you told me you was from Nevada or California when we met. You're from New Jersey, so claim where you're from, sir. But anyways, I think right now the Spurs are really
said I was from Nevada.
Yes, you did. You graduated from there. You told me that was where you was from. Then you told me Cali. Then somehow you got from New Jersey to the other side of the world, other side of the country, across the country.
Yeah, you got a wonderful imagination.
Yeah, you've been dreaming a lot. You said, when did slavery... Just because
I'm in California now, that don't mean I'm from there. I'm in California now. I'm not from California.
That's what you told... I'm just going off what you told me from your mouth.
Yeah, you got a beautiful imagination.
You've been dreaming a lot. That weed you smoking out there. You've been dreaming a lot. But anyway, like I was saying, I think the Spurs are really good. They're going to be a tough team to beat the whole year because at the beginning of the season, they held up pretty well. They had two of their, you can almost say superstars were out for a little bit of the season, but I think once they got De'Aaron Fox and Wendy back, it's really hard to score on the Spurs because pretty much all Wemby is going to change our whole offense. Being 7'4" and having, I think he's 7'3" or 7'4" and has a wingspan of 7'5". Maybe don't mark my words. Go look that up if you want to. But I saw them play the other day, and it was like Wemby. He went to the bench, and it was like, okay, we're gonna go to the hole. We're gonna score. We got an opportunity to do what we want. Wemby, once he came back into the game, I believe that was Oklahoma City they were playing. The only team that's beat Oklahoma City this year. But I believe when Wemby came back into the game, he could stand. He didn't have to do too much movement. I believe sometimes they were in a zone, or sometimes he just kind of stood back because he's big enough and tall enough to do that. But I think he changes up a team's whole game plan when they play the Spurs because, like, you can't get to the hole or you can block it. You can't you can't really. He's gonna throw off your shot if you shoot anywhere, especially on his side. And then they have really good defenders as is, so you're pretty much playing uh, a team that can score and play defense on you. So I think they're pretty good. Then my second team, I think the Rockets, another team out of Texas. I think they're really good. Their team is put pretty well, and I think they play a good brand of defense. And they got some scorers. They got some young guys on their team and some guys. They got some veterans that play really well. And then they have Kevin Durant, who's gonna always play. He's gonna always give you what you expect. So I think those teams are in the mix. And then I also, you know me, I like the Lakers. They coming along. As of late. They've been coming on pretty good. When Austin Reeves didn't play the last game, I believe they played Sacramento Kings. That we had our guys come in. We threw in a new roster just to see how that went down. And Jabari might have a little bit more insight on how he feels about Marcus Smart coming in. But I feel like that roster, we got to see a little bit difference of our roster, and we got to see how I believe they can get LeBron James more into the game because he had a better game than usual. Didn't he score almost 30?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think he played better.
From this new Lakers lineup, I just want to see. I want to see who's going to. I honestly want to see what a lineup without Austin Reeves looks like. Let's see if it does work better without Austin Reeves, or is the team need Austin Reeves in that starting lineup? Because I think he would be masterful coming off the bench.
I think it would be great coming off the bench with 2-star players on the court. Then we got our big man is typically pretty good with DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes. I think Jackson Hayes should be starting too. I think DeAndre Ayton would be great off of the bench because I believe Jackson Hayes, he's a guy that can instantly give the whole team energy. He comes in, he's looking to dunk on you, catch an alley-oop, get a block or something. So I think we need some energy right off the muscle. We know Luka gonna bring something, especially at the start of the game. We know LeBron James is gonna be on it at the start of the game. So I feel like we need a little bit more. I feel like we need a little bit more play out of guys. We need a little bit more play. I think the lineups, like Jabari said, I believe the lineups is going to be great to see how different lineups we can mix and match and see how those play out before we get our third. I believe Austin Reeves, even though I'm not the biggest fan of his game, I believe he's going to be also this year. So once we get how they're going to be able to play with 3 All-Stars is going to be very telling of how this little period where he's out goes. So
then going ahead and moving on to the NFL. We got the last week of the season coming up this week. Phillip Rivers could play himself into the playoffs this weekend versus the Houston Texans.
Man, that's really crazy. You said this
Giants Cowboys are playing for nothing.
No reason. Wait, did you say who is Phillip Rivers playing this week? I'm sorry.
Phillip Rivers is playing the Texans.
I don't think he's gonna win that. The Texans might have one of the top 3 defenses in the league, and they got their quarterback back. And CJ
Oh no,
Stroud,
actually, the Colts are eliminated. Damn.
Okay, so
it's really just Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Man, in Pittsburgh and Baltimore, I think the Steelers.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore and Tampa Bay and Carolina.
Huh?
Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Those are the 2 big games this week.
Yeah, I know. But I think the Steelers and the Ravens is going to be the most interesting game because people are going to trying to see is Lamar Jackson going to come back, and lead them to the playoffs, or is Aaron Rodgers going to do what he usually do and play himself into the playoffs? But I do think that the Ravens, if they really don't want to, they could save Lamar Jackson this week and just get him ready for the playoffs because I believe.
No, this is for the playoff spot.
Can you listen to me? I believe that their backup quarterback, he doesn't have the explosiveness or the I don't think he can throw down the field or run better than Lamar Jackson, but I do think he does play up to par. I've seen him do a couple things this year that'll make you think like, whoa, why is this guy not starting somewhere else, or why is he not playing as much? Because I don't believe they played the Green Bay Packers, and you know the Packers generally have a good defense with Micah Parsons, and they got a couple good secondary players. They put 41 points up on the Vikings. The Green Bay Packers. He threw 16 for 20, and I believe he got sacked once. But I believe what we're really gonna be judging the game off of, I think, is Derrick Henry gonna go off like he did, because he had probably one of the best games of his life last week. He ran for 216 yards and 4 touchdowns, and his longest touchdown was 30 yards. Hey, they better come with it. Steeler Nation better come with them terrible towels. Because
I love to see Derrick Henry. I mean, he's like an Iron Man. He hasn't got hurt. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards again. Man. He just keeps running through people.
Bro, I haven't seen no running back put up 4 touchdowns, and I might have not seen no running back put up 200 plus yards this whole year. And it's like, how is this old man, not old man, but he's like one of the oldest running backs in the league. He probably is the oldest running back in the league that plays. And it's like, he is unstoppable. Nothing has changed. His game, his play has been pretty much consistent his whole career. Either he gonna run through you, or he gonna run past you, or I don't know. But he gonna make.
Dude, he has 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns this year, by averaging 5 yards a carry.
That's
crazy. At 31 years old.
At 30, there we go. Thank you, Jesse. At 31 years old, that's really what's mind blowing. I feel like a running back.
Hall of Famer.
A running back being 31 years old in the NFL is pretty much, they work for that. So I think it's like LeBron James being, hey, today is LeBron James' birthday, and you ain't even said, ain't that your favorite player, boy? You ain't even tell LeBron James happy birthday.
Man. Shout out to the GOAT, man. Happy birthday, man. We wrapping up the new year. We wrapping up a great year. Shout out to the GOAT, man. Happy birthday, LeBron. But go ahead and moving on to I think a sleeper game is the Carolina-Tampa Bay. A lot of people have been sleeping on Carolina. I think we've been sleeping on Carolina a little bit. I think it's two very evenly matched teams coming up this week. Got some rookies that are showing out, some rookie wide receivers in Tetairoa McMillan and Emeka Egbuka. They're tied for like 2 of the top rookie wide receivers in the league. So that's going to be a tight matchup between Carolina and Tampa Bay. What do you think about Carolina versus Tampa Bay?
I think that's a real, surprising matchup with Carolina. Let me see. Carolina they played well this year, and they probably will win the division. They'll win the division, right, if they win this game, right?
Yeah, it's all on this game.
Okay. Carolina hasn't won their division since 2015, which was 10 years ago, and before that it had been 2008. So I think this is a pretty impelling game to watch, because I'm like, dang, I haven't paid too much. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't paid too much attention to Carolina this year, or too much attention to New England. So it's like,
No, Tampa Bay.
oh, Tampa Bay. My
Yeah, they're
bad.
playing Tampa Bay.
Well, I think Tampa Bay isn't as good. They're not as. I don't know if it's because if Mike Evans is hurt or Mayfield is hurt or what, but they also might not be. But they just haven't been playing up to par. If Detroit Lions wasn't the
Do you
biggest
think that?
downfall,
Do you think
if
that this
Detroit,
game? Hold on. Do you think that this game is going to be a turning point in either team, or do you think it's just a fluke year for either? Or
well, I think the Patriots have played pretty good, pretty consistent this
why
whole
do you
year
keep saying? Why do you keep saying the Patriots?
because I watched them play. I
The
watched them
Panthers
actually.
versus the Buck. We're talking about Panthers versus Buccaneers.
Oh, damn. Well, dang. That's what I meant. The Buccaneers, that's what I meant. The Buccaneers, they were really hot at the beginning of the season. They had Mike Evans going. Baker Mayfield was playing like he was at Oklahoma. And then they kind of just fell off. If Detroit Lions weren't the biggest disappointment of the year and had the biggest falling years, I think Tampa Bay would be on track for that because I just haven't seen them. I think maybe one game they played as of late in the last 2 or 3 weeks, but it's like they definitely not as hot as they were at the beginning of the season. So I think that would be a really telling game just to even see Carolina fighting for a playoff or fighting for the division game is kind of mind blowing because it hasn't happened. So I don't think that's happened since Cam Newton. But I think that's going to be a pretty telling game. But I
Yeah, we
do.
wrapping up the NFL this year. I say we wrapping up this year. Really, it's New Year's.
Yeah.
I'll say what's been the most compelling sports performance that you've seen this year? It could be football, UFC, basketball. From all of 2025, who's the athlete that said that really made you feel something this year?
I feel like
Or sports performance.
well, my favorite, I think, who stepped up the game way more than they've been playing. I think Cade Cunningham from the Detroit Pistons has played really good. How he's pretty much taken over the team. He's put his, I guess you can kind of say he's put his foot down, and man, and I've seen him make that team go, and they've been a good team this year. So that's kind of surprising to me. But I think he's led them to be. I think he's led them to be really good because now, I don't know, they might come out of the Eastern Conference at one of the top seeds now that he's playing so good because I believe in college he might have been one of the top tier players. I know he got drafted early so I think he just hasn't played up to tier how he has. And now I feel like he's leading the team.
Is there a particular game or moment that stands out to you from Cade Cunningham this year?
No, just the way he's led his team all together and his play that he's played in. And then I think the most exciting team that I've seen, I'm gonna have to say the San Antonio Spurs because I don't think anybody was thinking that they would be this good. Because honestly, if you ask me, the Spurs are probably the top team in the NBA. OKC playing right behind them, but I'd like the Spurs makeup of their team. I like how they're more of a defensive team that can score and not a lot of scorers that can play a little defense.
Yeah, I like the Spurs too.
What about you? You got a favorite game or a favorite player over the different leagues?
I'm gonna do a couple. First, I'm gonna do UFC over this year. Hamzat Chimaev, the middleweight champion. He's been kind of working his way up since the pandemic. I remember he was like the first guy to basically go in there and go fight back to back in the pandemic, and he got the pandemic turned up in 2020. And it's been 5 years. It took him 5 years to get the middleweight belt, and he finally got the belt this year, defeating Dracus Duplessis. So it was just crazy to see somebody embark on a 5 year journey plan, going through, fighting through injuries, and staying undefeated the whole time, bringing basically bringing what he needed to bring into the octagon to get the win, and then finally accomplishing his goal. In Chimaev, it was great to see UFC. And then a team or performance, I would say
The New York Giants.
or I'll say a player. And this is gonna sound okay. I'll do a football player, Cam Scatterbo. I just like the way before he got injured, man. I just like the energy he brought to New York. I mean, that's how you play Giant football. He kind of brought back before it kind of went down the tubes there.
Y'all didn't kind of go down. Y'all was
But
down the whole
it reminded me. It was like
y'all didn't win.
It was like seeing Ahmad
games.
Bradshaw. It was like Cam Scatterbo was like seeing Ahmad Bradshaw's son. Like when Ahmad Bradshaw went on his championship run, and he was super turned up and just running through people with that Giant football energy. I think that Cam Scatterbo just channeled that, and it was just great to see until the unfortunate injury. And then a standout team, I'll give it to Georgia. I think that Georgia is played at the championship level throughout this season, and I think I think if you want to see what championship football looks like, I think you look at Georgia right now. I think they're the most complete football team in college football. Defense is suffocating. The offense is well-rounded. Great. I think they got better running backs than probably some of the best running backs in the SEC.
Well, don't forget they just got beat. They're coming off a loss.
Georgia's not coming off a loss.
Who did they play last? I mean,
Bama. They just blew out Bama in the SEC championship.
Oh, dang. I didn't even know that.
So, yeah, we're going to see how they do this week, but I think that Georgia is just a standout this year.
I do think that, too, but I think the team that played isn't as good as they usually are. I think Alabama is really inconsistent on offense and defense. And it's like they don't have anybody that runs the show efficiently, especially since Nick Saban is left. I think you have full control over everything, and it's kind of like they're picking and choosing a little bit more, a lot too much to me. So we're going to have to see about that. I do think the Georgia game will be, I don't think it's going to be boring, but
Yeah, man, I'm coming close to wrapping up here. You got any last thoughts? End of the year? New Year's resolutions?
No. I ain't got no New Year's resolutions, but I know this year, there's a lot of stuff I'm finna handle. I already started on it. I'm getting some good physical therapy and get that ball rolling, getting some, just keeping my mind and my body on track, I guess, and everything that comes with that. Make sure you do that, and make sure, I don't know, this, in these last couple of weeks, I've had to see, man, make sure you're doing well. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and make sure you're spreading some love. Make sure you checking on your people. Make sure you trying to do right to people, because you don't know how long you're gonna have that person. You don't know what that person, if that person is thinking about you or what. But man, make sure y'all taking care of yourselves, y'all people, spreading some love. We need that in this world. Happiness. Be happy with what you got. 'Cause you don't know when it's gonna be gone, or how long you're gonna be able to hold on to it, or what. But
yeah, end of the year, man. We had a great year. We had some great moments this year. We made it to the end of the year. It's a blessing to be at the end of this year.
Man, it's a blessing. It's truly a blessing.
A lot of people are, a lot of people didn't make it to the end of this year.
A lot of people looking down at us now.
So it's a lot of blessings going around. It's a lot more blessings to get into this 2026.
Yes, sir.
And I think we out, man. A Source of Podcast. It's been Jabari Butler. It's been J.R. Hall.